Okay, time for a new video, and if this is the first video you've seen of mine, then thank you very much for checking it out. It is greatly appreciated. Or if you are somebody returning to my channel to watch this video, again, that is much appreciated. As always, apologies for the average quality of these videos and for the fact that I don't really edit them, so if I stumble over my words going forwards, I apologise in advance. I'm going to get straight into it. As always, please respect my opinions as I will with yours. This is yet another Melodifestivalen related video. That is the Swedish national selection for the Eurovision Song Contest. And we have now had all 6 shows. We know the winner, and at the time of recording this video, the final at the Friends Arena in Stockholm was last Saturday, where 12 songs battled for victory, but of course only one song could come out on top. I'm going to give you my thoughts on those songs and the performances. I will be fairly brief because I've discussed these songs already in previous videos, so if you want to go back and watch them, feel free. But I have the information in front of me to make sure I don't forget anything. I have to say there were some surprising votes, but then again, every year we have this, why am I not surprised? Song 1 on Saturday night in the grand final of this year's Melfest was Norrsken, which means Northern Lights, performed by Jon Henrik Fjällgren, his 3rd Melfest entry, arguably his most upbeat. Quite an atmospheric song, quite an ethereal song. I thought it was nicely staged. I do think this is a pretty good song overall, but I suppose it is the sort of thing that you really have to be in the mood for. And I'm guessing that the juries, they just weren't in the mood for it. He didn't do very well at all. He got 8 points from Australia and the UK, 19 points in total. He did do much better in the public vote as expected, 55 points there. So 74 overall and 4th place. So he's finished 2nd, 3rd and 4th in Melfest now. He's just never been the winner. And I'm not sure he ever will be. Because Sweden, for some reason, don't want to send songs in their own language. But this would have been a breath of fresh air, no doubt about it. He does need a slightly better song though. This is good, but I think he needs something slightly better. Something that really makes people go, wow. Song 2, Torn, by Lisa Ajax. This came through the second chance round. It should have been an automatic qualifier in my opinion. This was tremendous. The first Melfest song by Lisa, this was her 3rd attempt as well, in which we really got to see and hear what a great voice she has. She really is a superb singer. She's still so young, but she's got plenty of experience. And I'd like to see her come back and try again for Sweden, because she is a really good musician. Powerful ballad, passionately performed, simply staged, very simplistic in general. This did fairly well with the juries. 39 points put her 4th in the jury votes. Didn't do as well with the public, which I was sort of expecting. 10 points from Austria was the highest. And she finished 9th overall, which is a great shame for a really good song. Then song 3 was Hello by Mohombi, another experienced performer. This song really isn't that bad, quite catchy, and I think that was the strongest element of this song. What I really liked as well was how this is quite an up-tempo number, but the performance wasn't over the top. It was actually quite minimal. I liked the choreography bit, particularly towards the end when the female dancer became present. 32 points from the juries, very average. 42 from the public. He finished 5th overall. Pretty impressive, really. I don't think this song would have done very well at Eurovision, though. Let me know what you think, of course. Song 4 was Victorious by Lena Hedlund, another experienced performer, part of Alcazar, a group that have tried numerous times to represent Sweden. This song, a pretty average pop number, nothing much else to say. It was never going to win. I think people just brushed it aside in favour of other stuff. She did okay in the jury vote, but came last in the public vote, and she finished 11th out of 12 overall. I don't think anybody can be really surprised by that. Song 5 was On My Own by Bishara. This was co-written by Benjamin Ingrosso, last year's Swedish representative, and I am so glad that this song was not a typical pop song. It was actually more relaxed, more mellow, much calmer. Bishara, only 16 I think, really good voice for somebody of that age. I can see him returning to Melfest, definitely. And I knew this song would do well, but second place? That's quite generous if you ask me. He did okay with the juries, second with the public, 69 points. So far ahead of arguably better songs. 107 points overall, a very distant second place. I mean, Franz, in 2016, he won Melfest, another very young male performer. So clearly, if you are a young male musician in Sweden, and you have an all-right song, you might do very well if you enter Melfest. I think that's the sign here. Song 6, Anna Bergendahl, returning for a bit of redemption after her failure, for want of a better word, in 2010 when she didn't qualify from the second semi-final in Oslo. Ashes to Ashes, the name of her song. Tremendous stuff. Country pop. Great voice. Really suited this song very well. The performance was okay. Not a whole lot of movement, but she looked good. She sounded good. This mini forest scene on stage. Beautiful backdrop. There was a bit of momentum with this song, but in the end it never really came to much. Underrated by the juries. The UK gave it 6, Israel 7. Didn't do amazingly well in the public vote. 36 points, which made 56 overall, and she finished 10th. That's a shame. That's a shame. Song 7, Chasing Rivers by Nano. Obviously, he was the runner-up in Melfest a few years ago. Lots of expectation with this one, and I think a lot of people were left underwhelmed. Chasing Rivers, quite a powerful song, quite a rousing number. Certainly not a bad entry by any means, but not as good as I think a lot of people were hoping for. He amazingly, and I'm really very surprised by this, he was the second most popular act of the night with the juries. Baffling. I don't get that at all. 54 points. Really don't get that. I mean, 10 points from Australia, 10 points from Portugal. I don't get it. The song's not that good. And he received a measly 10 in the public vote. Not a surprise. He finished 8th overall, so the public votes really harmed his chances. But he was never going to win anyway. I mean, it would have been a really shocking winner, that's for sure. Moving on, Song 8. This was always a contender. Hold You by Hannah Ferm and Liamu. Liamu returning for the second year in a row. Hannah Ferm, a debutante. I really like the two of them together. I think their voices worked well. The performance was all right. This is really nothing special. It's just your average pop song, really. But I really like it. Always have done since I first heard it several weeks ago. The chemistry between the two of them was very evident at times. I don't know if they're a couple. If they are, I wouldn't be shocked. Hannah looked great. Like I said, their voices were pretty strong on the night. 48 points from the juries, 59 from the public, 107 overall, so third place, and that's level on points with Bishara, but because of the public votes taking precedence, Hold You finished third overall, which I think is a very reasonable result. I wasn't terribly sure about the billowing sheets behind them. That just looked a bit strange, but the song, not bad at all. Moving on to Song 9, I Do Me by Malu Pritz, another young musician with lots of potential going forwards. This song, just a lot of fun. Catchy, so catchy. Out of all the Melfest songs this year, this entry is one of the ones that I've listened to the most. No doubt about it. I really like her as well. She seems like a lot of fun. The spitting image of Zara Larsson, another Swedish musician. She was wearing yellow plaid, bopping about the stage, little bit of choreography. It was a surprise automatic qualifier though. and I knew that it would probably suffer in the grand final. That's exactly what happened. 23 points from the juries. That's still ahead of Anna Bergendahl and Jon Henrik. That's pretty impressive. And then 12 in the public vote, which meant that Malu finished last. That's a great shame, but I'm sure she'll be back. She really does have a lot of potential. Really great performance, just really likeable, fun, harmless, good stuff. The only country in the jury vote that gave it no points was Cyprus. Then we move on to the winner, which I will leave for a moment, which means I move on to song 11, Victoria with Not With Me. Sorry, Not With Me. And it appears that not many people were with her. I thought this was going to do really well in the jury vote. This was a much more jury-friendly song than her previous 2 Melfest attempts. But looking at the points here, 1 from Australia, yet 10 from Cyprus, and nothing from the UK jury. I'm sorry, how can you call yourselves music professionals when you can't even give this song 1 point? That's shocking. That's really, really surprising. Yes, okay, Not With Me, it's a ballad, maybe we've heard plenty of stuff like this in the past, but I thought it was a really great performance. She's singing in the rain, literally. She gave it her all, powerful, made an impact, really smashing stuff, and she's such a good singer. And yet it was underrated by the juries again, just 36 points, and the public really went off it, 28 from the public. And when you consider that Bishara got 69, oh, what is that all about? She finished 7th overall. Again, quite a few entries received the same amount of points, but when you look at the public score, which takes precedence, Victoria finished 7th, which is really quite surprising and disappointing. And I hope she comes back. I hope she's not too disheartened by this result, because it was a really great song. It is a really great song, and it was a very good performance. But I suppose in the end, you have to say it's a bit of a flop. But she's such a good singer. She's such a good singer. And then we have song 12, I Do, Arvingana, 30 years in the business, really good at what they do. 27 points from the juries. I can't believe the UK jury thought it worthy of 10 points, but then again, that's the UK maybe not taking the whole thing that seriously. And in the public vote, pretty good. 37 points, ahead of Anna, ahead of Victoria, ahead of Lisa, ahead of Lena, Nanu and Malu. Dear oh dear, I knew this band would do well. They're very successful and well liked in Sweden. But I think that's a bit generous. The song finished 6th overall. Impressive, because you can't take it that seriously. It's a bit of fun, it's a bit old-fashioned, it's a bit dated, it's a bit cliched, but the performance was fine. It was quite energetic, I guess. People can get up and dance to it. But better than some of the songs below it? I don't think so. So the voting was very strange, but there was a clear winner. Not surprising at all. The song's been selling like hotcakes in Sweden. Too Late for Love by Jon Lundvik, born in Britain. And he co-wrote the British entry, and apparently Bigger Than Us was the song that he put forwards for Sweden, and then he was told it wasn't good enough, so he entered this one. And look what's happened. The UK has been dumped with the weaker entry. And there's no doubt about it, Sweden will finish above the UK this year. You may as well put a lot of money on it, because it's bound to happen. Jon Lundvik, he's a very charismatic performer. He's really great. He's a great singer. He knows how to work the camera. The performance was great. The backing vocalists are really superb. They elevate the song to new heights. It's pop meets gospel. It's catchy. The chorus is really wonderful. 96 points from the juries, 85 from the public. A clear winner, 181 points overall. He absolutely swept the board in the jury vote. 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. They loved him. And it's a sign that in the grand final, because he will qualify, in the grand final in Tel Aviv, he could absolutely smash the opposition. And he might have such a lead that even if he didn't do brilliantly in the public vote, he might still win overall. Sweden are serious contenders this year, once again. At this moment in time, I'm thinking top 5, but not quite the winner. But we shall see in just 2 months' time. And that's it, because I'm starting to waffle. Let me know what you think. Do you think John was the right winner? How would he have done if he had entered with Bigger Than Us, the UK entry? Should Lisa have finished higher? Was Victoria underrated? Who should have been in the final instead? Should Andreas Jonsson have been in the final? Should Rebecca Karlsson have been in the final? The exact results in terms of voting numbers and all of that, and who finished where exactly in the semi-finals, that hasn't been revealed yet, but I'm sure it will do within the next day or two. I'd be surprised if not. But anyway, that's it. Let me know what you think. There'll be links in the description to my other social media pages. I sometimes run polls on my Twitter page, so if you want to vote in them when they appear, feel free. I'll be making a video very soon, probably tomorrow, in which I do another instalment of my Eurovision update series. We now know all 41 songs in this year's competition. The last ones were revealed yesterday. Who's going to win? Maybe it's too early to say, but the bookmakers think the Netherlands or Russia. And I'd be very surprised if Russia won with the song that they have. But anyway, those are the favourites at the moment. And I'll be talking about all of the songs in some depth tomorrow. Feel free to take a look at my blog. I've spoken about all of the entries on there at one point or another. And I will also be making another video, possibly later this week, where I talk about my personal top 41 at this moment in time. I am a little apprehensive about filming it because I know those videos can get lots of dislikes and a lot of negative comments, but I'm going to film it anyway. And like I said, respect my opinions, and I will with yours. That really is it now. Apologies for waffling. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, greatly appreciated, and bye for now.